The former head of a Pentagon program to understand the mysteries of UFOs has said that such objects visiting Earth had been proved beyond reasonable doubt. Speaking to the Telegraph, former Intelligence Officer Luis Elizondo said that unidentified flying objects of advanced capabilities have been seen lots over the years. Elizondo, who presided over the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program until 2 months ago, told The Independent, "I think it's pretty clear this is not us, and it's not anyone else, so one has to ask the question where they're from." The program, inaugurated in 2007 and funded with $22 million of government funds, was revealed to the public earlier this month. Elizondo further said that UFOs have often been found near nuclear and power plants. He said he resigned from his government job because he believes the government needs to provide more funding and support. The Defense Department finally acknowledged the existence of its long-secret UFO investigation program earlier this month, when officials shifted attention and funding to other priorities. Its initial funding came largely at the request of former Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid, the Nevada Democrat long known for his enthusiasm for space phenomena, the newspaper said. The program was created by then-Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, D. Nevada, with the support of the late Senators Daniel Inouye, D. Hawaii, and Republican Ted Stevens, R. Alaska. Their fears were that the unexplained phenomena could be advanced weaponry or technology from foreign states such as Russia or China which could threaten the U.S. Was this China or Russia trying to do something, or has some propulsion system we are not familiar with, a former staffer told Politico. While Elizondo, who ran the initiative, stressed he wanted to take the voodoo out of a voodoo science, the program investigated some issues that sound like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. They included wormholes and warp drives as well as interviewing pilots and military personnel who reported experiences with UFOs. Elizondo said that many of the Navy pilots described aircraft moving and acting in a way that seemed to be beyond human beings' current capabilities. "We had never seen anything like it," he said. The former staffer said that Reid believed there could be a valid national security issue and so agreed to fund the program. But after a few years and very little to show for it, Reid decided it wasn't worth continuing. After a while the consensus was we really couldn't find anything of substance, he recalled. It all pretty much dissolved from that reason alone, and the interest level was losing steam. "We let it die a slow death.It was well-spent money in the beginning." According to the Pentagon, the program ended in the 2012 timeframe. Yet according to its backers, the program remains in existence and officials continue to investigate UFO episodes brought to their attention by service members, the newspaper said. The Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program ended in the 2012 timeframe, Pentagon spokeswoman Laura Ochoa said in an email. It was determined that there were other, higher priority issues that merited funding, and it was in the best interest of the DOD to make a change, she said. But the Pentagon was less clear about whether the UFO program continues to hover somewhere in the vast universe of the U.S. defense establishment. The DOD takes seriously all threats and potential threats to our people, our assets, and our mission and takes action whenever credible information is developed, Ochoa said. If you talk to Harry Reid for 60 seconds, then it's the least surprising thing ever that he loves UFOs and got an earmark to study them, former Reid spokeswoman Kristen Orthman said in a message on Twitter. Or as Reid himself said in a tweet that linked to the Times story, the truth is out there. Seriously. Elizondo has since joined former Blink-182 vocalist Tom DeLonge's company to the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, described as a public benefit corporation that has mobilized a team of the most experienced, connected and passionately curious minds from the U.S. intelligence community, including the CIA, Department of Defense, who have been operating under the shadows of top secrecy for decades. Speaking to CNN, he said, "My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone." These aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, are displaying characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of. Things that don't have any obvious flight services, any obvious forms of propulsion, and maneuvering in ways that include extreme maneuverability beyond, I would submit, the healthy G-forces of a human or anything biological. Among the sightings were reports from pilots of two U.S. Navy Super Hornet fighters who spotted a UFO on a training mission. They were 100 miles from San Diego in the Pacific when a call on their radios asked if they were carrying weapons. The unusual request that day in 2004 came from a naval cruiser, the Princeton, that had spent 2 weeks tracking unidentified aircraft. Commanders David Fravor and Jim Slate had only dummy missiles but were directed to investigate objects that appeared suddenly at an altitude of 80,000 feet, then plunged towards the sea. At 20,000 feet, they stopped and hovered before disappearing out of radar range or shooting up again. The pilots could see nothing at first, and then Commander Fravor looked down to the sea. The water in one place was being churned by something just below the surface. Hovering erratically 50 feet above that spot was some sort of flying craft, around 40 feet long, oval-shaped and whitish. As the pilot descended towards it, it rose to meet him, but suddenly peeled away at an immense speed that he admits left him feeling pretty weirded out. The craft had no plumes, wings or rotors, but, seemingly traveling at a mile a second, easily outran America's fastest military jets. Fravors' comrades made fun of him when he described the encounter, but others in the U.S. military, we now know, took him seriously. For the episode was one of scores of unexplained encounters between military personnel and UFOs that were investigated by a top-secret, multi-million-dollar program run by the Pentagon. Last year, the CIA released a glimpse into its own set of X-Files, a small compilation of documents pulled from its expansive UFO collection, dating back to the 1940s. The agency said that these documents appeal to both skeptics and believers, the Scullys and Mulders of the world, who seek to prove scientific explanations or confirm the existence of extraterrestrial activity. A reported UFO sighting over Minville, Oregon, is pictured above one of the documents. Among the CIA's X-Files is from East Germany in 1952, where agents were called to investigate what witnesses described as a huge flying pan. Similar flying saucers were also spotted in North Africa and Spain, the report said. The picture of the object shows a diagonal stripe of diminishing width and lighter in shade than the sky over the dark bulk of a building cornice, it was noted. Included with some of the documents were 3 pictures of the alleged extraterrestrials. One of the photos taken by British student Alex Birch in 1962 claimed to show a group of flying saucers flying over the city of Sheffield in the UK. Also contained in the files is the case in Socorro, New Mexico in 1964, when police officer Lonnie Zamora spotted a large flame rise from the ground and pierce the sky above a remote patch of desert. Upon investigation, he found a shiny object the size of a sedan perched on the hilltop, which was oval in shape and aluminium in color. The object then began to rise into the air and then sped away from him over the mountains and disappeared.